What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Behind Show. Today is April 28th, 2021. The NFL Draft is tomorrow. It is absolutely crazy that it's already this close away. Today's video is live on YouTube, like every single video I do. In today's video, I want to be talking about some draft prospects I believe the Cincinnati Bengals should consider taking in each round. There's lots of prospects that like, in each round, especially, the first round, with, Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, whichever, the Bengals take. So let's go ahead and get started here. In the first round, there's pretty much only 3 players on the Bengals I would consider taking. And by the way, these are in no particular order, so having Penei Sewell first does not mean I like Penei Sewell more than Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts. But there's only 3 players in the first round of Cincinnati Bengals I'm considering taking. One is Oregon offense tackle Penei Sewell. One is LSU wide receiver Jamar Chase, and the other one is Florida tight end Kyle Pitts. I'd be happy with any 3 of those picks at number 5. I feel like all 3 of those players can come on the team right away and have big contributions to the team. Lots of people want Penei Sewell. Lots of people want Jamar Chase. That's kind of been a debate for the past 3 months or so. And the fan base is kind of split on who they want. I'd be really happy with either one, like I said. I really think Kyle Pitts needs to be talked about more in consideration at number 5, in my opinion. If he's available, he might not be because the Atlanta Falcons could take him at number 4. But Kyle Pitts, to me, he is one of the best tight end prospects we've literally ever seen in the NFL draft. I think getting him at 5 would be a phenomenal pick. Honestly, I've been asked so many times, do I like Sewell more? Do I like Chase more? Who do I want at 5? I don't guess I've really ever answered that question. If I had to choose, in my personal opinion, out of the 3, I would take Kyle Pitts at number 5. I know that's very, very unlikely. I don't think that's going to happen, especially the possibility of him going to Atlanta at number 4. But I think Kyle Pitts' offense would be absolutely phenomenal. You'd have him at tight end with Drew Sample coming off a season-ending injury. CJ Uzomah is coming off a season-ending injury. You have Drew Sample, who's still a big question mark. Never going to live up to that second-round pick that we selected him in. I think getting Kyle Pitts would be awesome. You have Jamar Chase as well, with Higgins and Boyd. That's a top 5 wide receiver trio. And Penei Sewell, he would be a great addition to the offensive line. We could definitely use some offensive line help, with Joe Burrow's injury. And, Riley Reese on a 1-year contract. Billy Price is a free agent at the end of the season. Trey Hopkins coming off a season-ending injury. Jonah Williams, nobody ever talks about it, but, Jonah Williams in 2 seasons has played just 10 games. John Ross, his first 2 seasons, played 11 games, and people were already saying, he's injury-prone. People were already writing John Ross off after playing 11 games in 2 years. Jonah Williams played 10 games in 2 seasons, but it seems like nobody ever talks about it for whatever reason at all. Jonah Williams is good, but, he needs to stay healthy. Him staying healthy is a must for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, if Jonah Williams goes down, especially with Riley Reese on a 1-year contract, we are in some big trouble on the offensive line position. It's going to be really interesting to see what the Bengals do in round 1. If I had to guess, honestly, I would take. I don't know if I'd take Chase at 5, but honestly, if I had to guess, I would say right now it's looking like the Bengals will get Jamar Chase at number 5. But it isn't a bad pick. He's a really good player, but it would be really interesting in round 1. Continue here. Like I said, I'm live on YouTube, like every single video I do, talking about some prospects I would really like for the Cincinnati Bengals to get in the draft. The second round is where it gets really, really interesting. I really think, it really depends what we do in round 1 and what we would do in round 2. For instance, if we take Jamar Chase in round 1, we're going to take the offensive lineman in round 2. It would take Penei Sewell in round 1, or more than likely, maybe take a wide receiver in round 2. It's going to be very interesting. But some players I have in round 2 that I really like are, like I said, he's in no particular order. Florida wide receiver Kadarius Toney. I really, really like him a lot. I would just absolutely love it if we got him. He's so explosive. He's so fast. He's everything that the Bengals wish they had in John Ross. Ohio State guard White Davis, I think that'd be a tremendous pick there. Especially if we go Jamar Chase in round 1 and we get Davis in round 2. That's fantastic. With White Davis, our guard position, we signed Quentin Spain to a 1-year contract. And I think, getting a guard would be really nice help because, nobody really talks about it. But I think guard is a little bit of a bigger issue an offensive tackle. Also, messed that up here. Let's see here. And also in round 2, I have I really like offensive tackle Ben Jenkins a lot. I think he would be a tremendous pick in round 2. Samuel Cosmi from Texas, he's also another one. Devin Jenkins, I don't think he'll be here though, because I think the Baltimore Ravens might take him at 31 because they're going to tackle trading Orlando Brown to the Kansas City Chiefs. Cosmi, like I said, from Texas is a really nice option as well. And a very underrated pick I really like if he's available is Florida State corner Asante Samuel Jr. If he's there if he's there with our second round pick, I would definitely consider taking him. He's a fantastic corner. I know we signed some corners, but lots of those guys they're okay. They're like 1-year contracts. I just really think, Asante Samuel Jr. would be fantastic in our, secondary. We have Trey Wayne, who's yet to play a snap for us, who has a absolutely stupid contract currently on the team. And I think some of these players would be nice. If I had to guess which players most likely to be on the team, I'm going to have to say Samuel Cosmi of these second-round picks, because realistically, I think we want to take Jamar Chase, and that's going to have to, pressure the Bengals into taking an offensive lineman in round 2. And I do not believe Tevin Jenkins is going to be there in round 2, because I think, the Ravens may take him or another team earlier in the second round. But I think it would be really smart to get maybe Cosmi if he's available. If I had to pick a player who's going to be in the Bengals second-round pick, I would probably have to say him. Like I said, Asante Samuel Jr., I would really like him as well. And, there's been talks, Caleb Farley, the Virginia Tech cornerback, could drop some. I really don't see him dropping too much. The farthest I see him going is 29 at the Green Bay Packers. But if he does drop, I think that's somebody you have to consider taking. He's a top 15 talent. He's dropped a little bit due to injury concerns. Caleb Farley is there with our second-round pick. I honestly think we have to take him. If we get him and Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, one of those two guys, and we get Caleb Farley in the second round, those are 2 top 15 talents. So it's going to be really interesting to see in round 2, because it's kind of a flip-flop, you know what I'm saying? Like round 1, offensive tackle, could be round 2 could be wide receiver. Round 1 could be wide receiver. Round 2 could be offensive tackle. Whatever we do in the one round, we will not do in the other. So we'll continue here in round 3. I really, really like this edge rushing class. One player in particular is Houston edge rusher Peyton Turner. He had a phenomenal pro day. He's projected more than likely a 2 pick. Maybe late 3rd, early 4th, something like that. But he had a phenomenal pro day. He's definitely going to be a day 2 pick now. He might not even be there with their 3rd round pick, but if he is though, I would personally love that pick there. I really think we can use some edge rushers. We signed Trey Hendrickson, which I am not a huge fan of that signing at all. We have Sam Hubbard. I think he's really good. He's extremely underrated, but he's a free agent 1 year from now. So I think it'd be smart to maybe get an edge rusher, because this edge rushing class is just so talented. Peyton Turner, like I mentioned, a defense tackle from Louisiana Tech, Milton Williams. It's been reported the Bengals are high on him. I think that would be a pretty nice pickup as well. I've seen lots of mock drafts having the Bengals take Milton Williams in the 3rd round. Personally, I think this is kind of a scenario where, Bengal fans are just mocking Williams to the Bengals in round 3 because, they've heard that the Bengals like him. Personally, if I had to pick between Milton Williams in round 3 or Ben Cleveland, the offensive guard from Georgia, I would rather take Ben Cleveland. Ben Cleveland is a fantastic guard. He's very underrated. Him and Trey Smith from Tennessee as well. With Trey Smith, though, you have the medical concerns. He has a heart issue, had blood clots several years ago. So there's an injury, off the field issue that's much more important than football. I also like BYU offense tackle Brady Christensen. We've yet to take an offense tackle in the first 2 rounds, which I think that's very unlikely. I really expect us to take a offense tackle in round 2, especially if we take Chase in round 1. If we want to take an offense tackle in round 2, I would really like BYU offense tackle Brady Christensen. He's extremely underrated and doesn't get talked about enough. This past season, according to Pro Football Focus, they rated the top 100 players, during the season. Brady Christensen was actually a top 30 player, according to the PFF. He's really, really good. I would really like Brady Christensen in round 3 if we do not take an offense tackle in rounds 1 or 2. As we continue here in round 4, these are some of my favorite prospects, not just in the 4th round, but in general. Started off with North Texas wide receiver Jaylen Darden. If you've seen some of my mock draft videos before, you know I'm a big fan of Jaylen Darden. He reminds me so much of Tyreek Hill, small school, small size, very similar size and built, similar playing style. Once you catch the ball, you have no idea what's going to happen. Then I would love it if we got him. I think that'd be the best wide receiver option in the late rounds for us. If we got him in round 4, that'd be fantastic. He reminds kind of like Kadarius Toney. He reminds me of everything we wish Jordan Moss would have been. Next up here is Pittsburgh edge rusher Patrick Jones. Patrick Jones, he's not my number 1 edge rusher, but he's my favorite edge rusher in the class. I would absolutely love it if we got him in round 4 because realistically, I don't expect us to take an edge rusher with our first 3 picks. Patrick Jones, it seems like even in a bad game, you watch his film this past season, he'll still get you a quarterback pressure and a sack and a couple other things. He's very underrated. I have no idea why he's dropping on people's big boards, and mock draft rankings does not make any sense in my opinion. Let's see. As we continue here, Brevin Jordan, the tight end from Miami, Florida. I think that's another option I would kind of like. Like I said, kind of in the first round. With Kyle Pitts, I would really like him. CJ Uzomah is coming off a season-ending injury, and Drew Sample has not proven anything at all. We signed Thaddeus Moss, but I think that's a overrated signing. Bengal fans are really overrated that signing. There was a reason Thaddeus Moss went undrafted. I really don't think Thaddeus Moss is even guaranteed to make the team. But as we continue here, Syracuse corner Trill Williams. If he's available in round 4, he's somebody I would definitely consider taking. The thing I like about Trill Williams is that he is a fantastic tackler. And it's not something you see nowadays in the NFL. It seems like maybe now you just kind of like try to get the ball, like pass deflection or something like that. But Trill Williams from Syracuse, you would think of him as a safety or a linebacker. That's how good of a tackle he is. Makes some big tackles. I really like Trill Williams. Also, another one is Pittsburgh defense tackle Jalen Tallman. I like him a lot. He's been compared to Geno Atkins and Aaron Donald. Anytime you compare to some of those defensive tackles who've been the best in the league for quite some time, you got to be pretty good. He has a similar build from both those guys, similar playing style. Look at their defensive tackle situation. And it kind of goes along with this next player here, Marvin Wilson from Florida State University. We have defense tackle. We have DJ Reader, who's coming off a season-ending injury. We have Renell Wren, who's been hurt. Josh Dupa is coming off the coronavirus list, not playing last season. Mike Daniels, who, we re-signed him, but it's only to a one-year deal. We also signed Larry Ogunjobi from the Cleveland Browns to a one-year deal. 1 year from now, we're kind of in an even worse position because Ogunjobi and Mike Daniels are both gone and due to free agency. I believe Tupo's contract's coming up and Renell Wren's contract's coming up soon as well. So the only guy we have more than 2 years on contract is Jay Reader, who's coming off a season-ending injury. I really think we could use some defensive tackles, and I think Jalen Tallman from Pittsburgh or Marvin Wilson from Florida State would both be fantastic options in round 4. Another defensive tackle I like is WVU defensive tackle Darius Stills, and that starts off the round 5 one. I think he would be a fantastic option. That'd be a really nice draft pick here. Any of those 3 defense tackles I would be ecstatic about because I really think defense tackle is our biggest need on the defensive side of the ball, and it's one of our biggest needs in general. Another edge rusher I like is Chaka Toney from Penn State University. He's really underrated. I'm not sure why he's so low on some people's boards despite playing at high school, top school, like Penn State University. Another wide receiver I like, I've had some wide receivers past couple rounds like Jaylen Darden, Kadarius Toney. This wide receiver is very underrated. Cade Johnson from South Dakota State University had a great performance at the Senior Bowl. He's very underrated. I would really like it. Maybe if we got him in round 5, or if we feel it's round 6, I would kind of feel more comfortable taking him there. But as we continue on here with round 6, I really like Quentin Morris, the Bowling Green tight end. You've seen my mock draft videos. I have him going on to different teams quite a bit in the later rounds. I think he's an extremely underrated tight end. And you look at some of the tight ends, who's been drafted in the later rounds, have actually had really nice careers. But Travis Kelce was a late round pick. George Kittle was a late round pick. Darren Waller was a mid round pick. I'm not saying Quentin Morris is going to be the next top NFL star. at tight end, but I would not be surprised if Quentin Morris had a pretty successful career in the NFL. He's very athletic, had a very nice performance at the Senior Bowl. During the Senior Bowl week in the game itself, during the game, he actually hurdled over a defender, very, very athletic. Another player I like in round 6 is LSU safety Jacoby Stevens. I know we re-signed Brandon Wilson to a 2-year deal. We also signed Ricardo Allen to a 1-year deal as well. But Brandon Wilson is more of a kick returner. He doesn't play a ton of safety. Ricardo Allen is only a 1-year deal, so he'll be a free agent 1 year from now. We do have Von Bell, who I thought was one of the best free agent signings last season, and Jesse Bates, the best safety in the NFL. But if Jacoby Stevens is here around 6, I think you got to take him because, in the 6th and 7th rounds here, I kind of have best player available. I don't really have team needs because in the later rounds, you should always try to take best player available instead of a team need, especially rounds like 6 and 7, because they're much more likely to make the team if they're the best player available rather than a position you need. But Jacoby Stevens, I think, will be an awesome pick here in round 6, despite us having a great safety duo in Bell and Bates. I wouldn't be upset one bit if we got him in round 6. I also like Duke edge rusher Chris Rumph. He's extremely underrated. There's so many edge rushers I like in this class. Peyton Turner, Patrick Jones, Chris Rumph, Teron Jackson, Tony. I'd be happy with any of those guys. But another running back I actually have here, the first running back I've had on my list, is Louisiana running back Elijah Mitchell. He's extremely underrated. I would absolutely love it if the Bengals got him. You look at Louisiana, they actually have basically not a 2-back system, but a 3-back system. He split carries with Trey Regis, who's also coming into the draft this season as well. And you would not notice that by just looking at the stats of Elijah Mitchell. They're absolutely insane. You watch some of his film. He is really, really good. We'd be really excited if they got him here in round 6. Also, another running back here, I do not actually have one here, is Louisville running back Jaylen Hawkins. He reminds me quite a bit of, former, now Bengal Giovanni Bernard. Very similar playing style, can catch the backfield a tad bit. A small speedster guy who can block pretty good. But I would absolutely love Jaylen Hawkins or Elijah Mitchell in round 6. And to finish off round 6, I really like Florida wide receiver Trevon Grimes. Trevon Grimes really gets overshadowed by Florida's talent this past season. You watch Florida's games, and you notice that Kyle Trask gets bailed out by Kyle Pitts quite often. But when you watch Kyle Pitts, that's like who you're watching the whole time playing Florida, and you're also watching Speedster and Kadarius Toney as well. And it seems that people don't really pay attention to Trevon Grimes. I think he really gets overlooked. Does not get enough credit because most people are talking about Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts. Pitt's going to be a top 10 pick, and Kadarius Toney could be a first-round pick. Trevon Grimes, I believe it was against Georgia, had a phenomenal, jump ball catch against Tyson Campbell at the corner of Georgia, who's going to be a early cornerback selection. I really like him here, getting more depth at the wide receiver position. I know I have Chase here, Chase Sewell and Pitts in the first round. Realistically, I think we're going to go Chase. And despite taking Chase in round 1, I think it would be smart if we took another wide receiver here in the later rounds, maybe in 5, 6, or 7, because we have 2 6th-round picks instead of 1 with the trade with the Houston Texans. And like I mentioned, the 7th round with the 7th-round players I like. I really like, I kind of already mentioned him, Coastal Carolina edge rusher Teron Jackson. I think that would be a very nice pick. I've seen, some mock drafts not even have him being drafted. I do not understand that at all. You watch his games, he's extremely talented. He's really underrated. I think a lot of it has to do with him playing at Coastal Carolina University, not playing against the top level of competition. But I would love getting him there. Another one is Marshall offense tackle Josh Ball. I think kind of get more depth at the offense tackle position. He's absolutely massive. 6'5", around 330. I think it'd be a pretty nice depth pick here in round 7. Brendan Knox, also another Marshall player as well, running back. I like him a lot. I don't have him listed, but Jarrett Patterson, the running back of Buffalo, and Brendan Knox. Either one of those running backs here in round 7, I'd be really, really happy with. Jarrett Patterson had those amazing games, one against Kent State and one against, I believe, Bowling Green. He had over 700 rushing yards in 2 games against those teams. Also in round 7, I actually have a kicker on here. Florida Gators kicker Evan McPherson. We have Seibert. We no longer have Randy Bullock. I think it'd be kind of smart to get a kicker around round 7. I don't really like the idea of getting a kicker around 6, despite the fact we have 2 6-round picks. Like I said, I always think you should try to go best player available in the 6th and 7th rounds. And I know some people have the Bengals getting Evan McPherson with a 6th-round pick, but if it's between a guy here, I have in Jacoby Stevens, a safety from LSU, in round 6, or Evan McPherson, a kicker, I'm definitely going to take Jacoby Stevens because he's going to be more valuable to your team, in my opinion. Maybe not necessarily now, but in the future. And one final guy here I have is UCF wide receiver Marlon Williams. There's something that's really interesting. Marlon Williams, wide receiver coach during his time with UCF, is actually our current wide receiver coach now. And if you watch his games past season, he was absolutely phenomenal. He's really great on film. I don't understand why he's not being talked about as much because he's averaged over 100 receiving yards a game this past season with the UCF. Nice. So those are some guys I really like in each round. I'm gonna go over these again kind of quickly. In round 1, I really like Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase, and Kyle Pitts. Once again, these are not in order. In round 2, Florida Gators wide receiver Kadarius Toney, Ohio State guard White Davis, offensive tackle Evan Jenkins, offensive tackle Samuel Cosmai, and cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. At round 3, I really like Houston edge rusher Peyton Turner, Louisiana Tech defense tackle Milton Williams, BYU offensive tackle Brady Christensen, and Georgia guard Ben Cleveland. And round 4, North Texas wide receiver Jaylen Darden, Pittsburgh edge rusher Patrick Jones, Miami, Florida tight end Brevin Jordan, Syracuse corner Troy Williams, Pittsburgh defense tackle Jalen Tolman, Florida State defense tackle Mark Wilson. Also in round 5, another defense tackle and WVU defense tackle Darius Stills, Penn State edge rusher Shaka Toney, Kate Johnson, the wide receiver from South Dakota State University, Quentin Morris, the tight end from Bowling Green, safety Jacoby Stevens from LSU, edge rusher Chris Brown from Duke, Louisiana running back Elijah Mitchell, Florida Gators wide receiver Trevon Grimes, and last is round 7, Coastal Carolina edge rusher Teron Jackson, Marshall offense tackle Josh Ball, Marshall running back Brendan Knox, Florida kicker Evan McPherson, and UCF wide receiver Marlon Williams. It's going to be really interesting to see what the Bengals do. We are just one day away from the NFL draft. It's absolutely crazy. And it'll be really interesting to see if the Bengals get Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell. So that about does it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video and subscribe to my channel, we greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next time on the Sports Behind Show.